Oh, that was incredible.
Like, I just saw, like, how beautiful he was, and I was like, that is the perfect example of a fucking mule deer. And I was like, if he stops, I'm gonna shoot him. And he was going straight away, and I have it on his neck, and then he turned, and he just looked back down, and I was like, yep, boom. Well, I hope that intro speaks for itself, but it's that time of year again. The rut is here. And for an avid mule deer hunter, such as myself, and probably a bunch of you watching, we all know that this is one of the most spectacular times to be in the backcountry. British Columbia is absolutely enormous, and the amount of opportunity that we have here is, quite frankly, insane. Never-ending vast stretches of country to cover, and with that, it requires a ton of time and dedication to cover the landscape to be able to find these magnificent animals. This is personally one of the things that I really do love about chasing these creatures. I love eating them. First and foremost, they're a great food source, but on top of that, they're ghosts. So when the encounter that you're looking for does eventually knock on your doorstep, it's one of the most exciting things, in my opinion, that you can experience. A mature mule deer is primarily nocturnal all the way up until now. We are now at that magical window when they're going to be out searching for does in an effort to breed. This puts a lot of emphasis on being at the right place at the right time, and if you're in the magical zone where this is occurring and you can see them, you can have some truly remarkable days up on the mountain. Now, in this video, I hope to show you some of that remarkableness because I did capture some of the best buck footage I've ever filmed in my life. Now, with all of this in mind, accessing the backcountry of BC is a completely different story. A never-ending labyrinth of FSRs, Forest Service roads that we access the countryside with. It sure does take a toll on your pocket and also your vehicle. The sheer price of fuel these days makes hunting almost a rich man's sport alone, let alone any types of major repairs you might have to have done on your vehicles in order just to get out there. And in this case, I had been hunting for the better part of almost 40 outings at this point in the season, and my truck had finally had enough. I needed to wrench on it just to be able to get back out there, and I wanted to include this in this video just to show you the little bit of a struggle that there actually is just to get some meat on the table. You're not going to be able to go and get a buck if you can't get yourself to the mountain. So first things first, before this video kicks off, we need to do a little bit of wrenching. So, we are not hunting, but I am working on the beast. And ever since I had this truck, got rid of one of my other trucks, I have this thing all built up. It'll go anywhere. But it's not done yet. I don't feel like beating it up this season, so I'm lifting this one because every single time I go anywhere with this pickup, I'm topping out, I'm bottoming out, I'm hitting stuff off the bottom. And this truck, because it's an LE, didn't come with skid plates, and I've hit my oil pan off the ground like 3 times. So we got this side all ripped apart, and it's definitely not legit because this side, as you can see at full droop, it hits the coil bucket because the upper control arm is off center from the shock, unlike a Toyota. So you can't just stick a 2.5 inch lift in it and clear. But I don't want to spend an extra $1,000 on new upper control arms right now. I just had to do the rear leafs because on the last outing, the factory ones bit the bullet. I snapped it in half, like right in the middle, and I put new shocks in it and both the springs. I got a 4-pack with an overload instead of a 3-pack. Had them arc slightly more, so now my departure angles will be a little better. Should be a little bit better to go find some bucks in some tougher spots. So we got this thing thrown back together, and then it's going in for an alignment tomorrow. Having grown up with not a lot of money, this seemed to be a constant occurrence. Over the years, having older vehicles just means you're going to have to work on them quite a bit, as there's no warranty and you're not running new stuff. This is definitely one of the last things I want to be doing when you're approaching the most epic time of the year to be out hunting. But it's life, and you have to get through these things. It's definitely cold out, and I'm not super stoked to be wrenching on my truck. I'd way rather be out in the mountains chasing deer. But in order to get there, this is definitely a necessary thing, and a constant battle, it seems, with me every single season. It's always something when you're least expecting it or don't want it to happen, and it's gonna come and bite you. So for me, I almost expect it now, and that's why I wanted to include it, because the amount of time that I've spent wrenching on vehicles in the last decade would seriously blow a lot of people's minds. If you drive your truck in the bush all the time, you definitely have to get used to wrenching on it, because the price to go to a shop these days, 140, 150, 160 bucks an hour. I can't afford to pay that. It's quite a bit. I have to work a whole day to pay for 2 hours of somebody else's time? I think not. The amount that trucks break all the time just driving them, just from the abuse that back roads put on them, I wouldn't even be able to afford to go hunting. Price of fuel, every day you go out, it's like 75 bucks probably. So I could go hunting for almost a week if I'm doing a bunch of hiking on the price it would cost to have somebody work on this thing for a couple hours, and shops are going to charge you 4 or 5 hours to do this job. I've only been at it for 40 minutes, and both of them are in. I just got to put everything back together, and Bob's your uncle. Throw the upper control arm back in, sway bar, torque everything, take her in to get an alignment tomorrow. I actually have a CV going bad on this truck. Not the CV itself, but the boot's tearing. With this lift in there, I will guarantee you that the CV in this side lasts like 1,000K and it's gonna rip apart. So I'll be doing CVs in this thing here pretty quick too. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. All right, I stopped recording because it was pouring rain, but got her done. I'd say before, my fender was probably here, so I had some sag on top of adding the lift. I got a lot more room there now. Picked up my front end a good amount. New leaves in the back. The truck actually has a little bit of ground clearance now, so that's pretty sweet. Ready to go. Let's get them. He's nice, but I don't think he's a shooter. After fixing that drama, a day later, I'm back on the mountain. Everything that you're about to watch was captured over an 11-day period. A mule deer doe, in the snow, a familiar sight. But this time of the year, you always must be paying close attention because you never know who might be right behind her. In this case, a younger, beautiful 4-point mule deer. He didn't seem too interested in the fact that I was around, and the does seemed to be on high alert, but he was completely only interested in one thing, and that was them. As I spoke about before, British Columbia is an absolutely massive place, and the foliage and different densities of timber across the giant landscape that we have to hunt differs from place to place, but on top of that is an extreme obstacle when hunting these animals. I don't know if you could see that buck until he decided to move, but a lot of the time these are the encounters that you'll have when out chasing these animals. Staying extremely vigilant and paying attention to the little things will sometimes lead you to success. In this case, had I decided to take a crack at this deer, I may have gotten him right here if he was the one. I had been watching this buck for the better part of 5 minutes at this point and finally decided to capture some video of him. Filming wildlife while hunting is extremely difficult. I don't know if any of the other videos that we have filmed may have portrayed that, but carrying around camera gear on top of trying to kill a deer is a massive pain in the ass. And there are days that we simply just don't bring the cameras at all, because we do love simply just hunting. But having experiences like this to watch and share, and also just to look back on, is really cool at the end of the season. And really, it's why we started doing this in the first place. It's a great way to catalog your encounters and to be able to look back at all the great experiences you had in the great outdoors as time had gone on. Anyways, back to this buck. It's early November, and the bucks are out searching now extremely hard. This deer is literally approaching the peak of the rut. In my experience, this happens all within the first 10 days of November where we live. The bucks are extremely up and on their feet, covering immense amounts of country, looking for a doe in heat. And when he finds one, which I'm assuming that he's on the trail of this doe, she's probably coming into heat or very close to it, and he won't leave her alone until he gets what he wants. That's what makes this time of the year so spectacular. The breeding season for mule deer brings the ghosts out into the open.
It's really windy in most places today. These deer are like right down at the bottom out of the wind. Pretty cool to see.
Now, simply because of this, you'll have a lot of encounters if you're in the right place doing the right things. One thing that I am very rich in my life with is time, and I value that above almost everything else. I definitely did not come from money, but through saving through the majority of the year, I can afford to be able to go out and put many days in the field in search of these animals. And with that, it almost begs to question, why am I out here doing this? Why don't I just shoot one of these deer and take it home for table fare, as that is kind of the end goal of every single season, is to put meat in the freezer? Well, to tell you the truth, mule deer are my favorite species to hunt. Not only that, they're probably my favorite animals in existence, period. Minus maybe my cats. I do love those two little shits. I've been out here doing this since a very young age, and over time it has just simply evolved to be a thing that really gets my heart rate going. I think it's just through sheer amount of time spent that I've grown a massive appreciation for these animals. They are all characters, and if you spend a lot of time with them and watching them, they all have their unique quirks and personalities. It's pretty cool. You will learn a lot inevitably through spending a lot of time, and I think the reason that I don't just take one and put it in the freezer is it because it defeats the whole purpose of why I love hunting so much. Hunting for me over the decades, specifically for mule deer mostly, is a lot of things. There's so many different aspects to this hobby, or sport if you want to call it that it's almost never ending. In my experience, you can put in as much time as physically possible in as many places as you're willing to physically go to and still never put all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's through time and experience that you can create theories to try and dream up what is exactly going on, only to be humbled and thrown back on the ground by defeat. This really does keep you a humble human being, and I do quite enjoy that. On top of that, the world is pretty chaotic these days, and being out in nature really does keep my head screwed on straight. It is a great activity, and it makes me feel refreshed even after a super worn out day on the mountain. These two things keep drawing me back to this activity, and it's why I pursue it so much. As time has gone on, I've really come to realize that hunting is 80% utter boredom mixed with a lot of thinking and a ton of hard work, at least in the style of hunting that I choose to do. That's only 80% though. I'd say out of the remaining 20, 10% of that is travel, and the remaining 10% are those close encounters you have that keep the spark lit to get up early the next day and keep trying in hopes that that 1% of your magical season might unfold and everything that you've been working oh so hard towards may actually come to fruition. So I guess in conclusion, the reason why I don't just take a deer and call it a season is because I want to keep adding to the never-ending bank vault of knowledge that I accumulate every single year. And I look for an exceptional animal to harvest and take home to enjoy around the table and share with friends and family. This is an addicting game, and it's one that has become the deepest passion of mine throughout my entire life.
All by himself, too. Yeah, he's a 3x2. Made it another year, buddy.
This particular season has been an exceptional one for me. I put in a lot of time, and in that, I've been rewarded with some great encounters. Although the majority of them I was not able to capture any video, on this occasion, I was able to capture some great footage. This buck essentially is the star of the show on this day. He's super visible, out doing exactly what bucks do. Live. I almost wish at times that I could step into their shoes and just enjoy a day or a week, maybe even a month to see what it is that these creatures are up to. I'm sure it's not exactly an easy life that they live, but nonetheless, for them, all they have to worry about is food, water, and you know what else.
I'll show this to Justin later. Hey, Justin. This is Gimpy. Say hello to Gimpy.
Fuck, I shouldn't have cut my tag.
Justin's deer is that big or bigger. It's just a 2x3.
Right.
Everyone, meet Gimpy. This buck was quite a character, and he was seen on many different occasions throughout the 11 days. But this particular day was by far the best filming opportunity that I had of him. The weather was cooperating, and he was within a reasonable distance. Honestly, he was even within rifle range. But that being said, he's not quite the quality of a buck that I was hoping to harvest on this particular season. I had been chasing some bigger deer, and I had seen a few that were quite a bit bigger than this guy up to this point, and he really just didn't turn my crank to end my season at this point in time. So, with that being said, I did get to just watch and observe and enjoy this magnificent animal on the mountainside. This buck, however, is a great deer to harvest in my opinion. He is fully mature, neck fully swollen up, really big bodied, probably over 4. It's hard to say exactly how old the deer is without any history, but if I had to guess, just based off of looking at so many deer throughout my life, I would say he's in between 4 and 6 years old. He's not showing any characteristics of an ancient looking animal, as he's not extremely saddle backed, doesn't have the gray characteristics that some deer do get as they age, and he seems extremely healthy. Although this isn't a direct correlation to how old the deer is, because the only way to know would be to shoot the thing and age his teeth, it's just a hunch of mine that that's kind of where he is. I'd say for sure, with the mass and frame size and overall build of his body, he for sure isn't under the age of 3. I guess I also failed to explain why exactly we named this deer Gimpy. It's because he's gimped up. It might be a little bit hard to see to the untrained eye, especially with the terrain that I'm currently filming him on. But if you watched him for long enough, you really did notice that he was favoring one of his front legs. This deer had a pretty good limp to him. This time of the year, these bucks will encounter each other and they will fight for dominance in areas. My guess is he probably fought another deer and ended up hurting himself in the process. The camera might not show it, but the terrain that this deer is on isn't exactly easy going. It simply blows my mind how strong and tough these animals really are. For us to hike in the same ground that he is walking in, even with a limp, would be a struggle fest, to say the least. And he seems to get around pretty good, even with the limp.
His right antler is a floor. Oh, that's cool.
That's cool, yeah. He's sniffing, doing the lip curl.
Just bugle.
He bugled.
Watch the dude, that's a bugle.
Yeah, why didn't we hear him?
Here he is again at a longer range on a different day, still out limping around doing his thing. Now he's transitioned into chasing doe. Although not very hard, he is showing some interest, showing the stereotypical rut signs that mule deer do at this time of the year. Lip curling, prepping himself for the inevitable runaround that he's going to have to do in the coming weeks. It really was a pleasure to be able to watch and film this particular animal for the amount of time that I got to. Hopefully, he made it through the season and I'll get to film him again or maybe have an encounter with him in another year. All the best, Gimpy. Hopefully you had a good winter, bud.
He does have some nice brows. That deer. And he's a sausage. Big sausage.
As the days ticked on, we were seeing lots of bucks. And eventually, if you're seeing enough deer, you're bound to see a better one. And on this particular day, I was privileged enough to be able to capture this video of this spectacular mule deer. He's a long ways off, but nonetheless, it was a joy to watch him for the time that we did. This is more along the lines of what I would hope to harvest. Even though he's not all that much bigger than the other deer, in my opinion, there are 3 things that I look for in a mule deer to harvest every year. Not every single deer is going to be a giant, and I've learned that because I've seen hundreds and hundreds of bucks in my lifetime. It seems as though, at least in the neck of the woods that I spend the majority of the time hunting, that most mature mule deer will be missing one of the 3 things. Those 3 things are mass, tine length, height, and width combined into one category. There is also an extra category specifically for abnormal points, but very rarely do we ever encounter deer with such a characteristic. But nonetheless, out of the 3 categories, I always strive to shoot a deer that has the attributes of at least one of the 3. Combine that with an older age class buck, and he's a trophy that I'm more than happy to take home at the end of the day. Finding a deer that has all 3 of these traits is a rarity, and it seems as though, although I put in hundreds of hours every year, I may not find a single buck in an entire season that will meet those requirements. So I don't exactly look for them. To me, It's whatever turns my crank in the moment or how I'm feeling on that day. If I like the buck, maybe I'll try and make a play on him. This particular deer had one of the three, and he was definitely a contender as I wanted to go after him. But it was a really long ways away, and the opening that he was feeding in was not very big. So by the time we could actually get into position to possibly get a shot at him, more than likely he would have been long gone. It's kind of a double-edged sword hunting massive country like this. You can see a lot at times, and very rarely you will have opportunities like this to film bucks, and you can watch and observe them, but getting yourself across to a completely different other mountain to go and try and get him is a totally different story. Although there was not a hope in hell that we would be able to actually make this happen, it was a privilege once again to be able to film a deer such as this. This buck is really ramping up for the rut. As you can see here, he is raking the heck out of this fir tree, showing his dominance to the other bucks in the general area around him. He is not alone on this face, and soon enough he would be showing all the other deer who's boss. Being able to observe and watch wildlife in this manner is really something that I cherish. And being able to film and share this type of video with you is something that a lot of people honestly will rarely ever get to see. This buck had a lot of character to him. He flared out quite wide, wasn't overly tall, but had pretty good forks for his size. Overall, he's a great looking buck. He was strutting his stuff, walking around on this face, and any time he would come close to another buck, he would push him away, showing him who's boss. In my opinion, this is pretty funny behavior because the younger deer doesn't seem to be bothered by being around the older buck at all. But the older buck, knowing that he's soon going to have to fight for what's his, really doesn't want that younger buck around him in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, look at him.
Oh, yeah. That's zoomed in that.
I think he would be like 155 if I had to guess. Because he's not very tall, but he's got good fronts, and then the little brows kind of make up for his one back tine.
Yeah, his left side's pretty nice. Like, I feel like if he was that on both sides, it'd just be like, there's not much difference in inches. Like, you're talking like 3 inches.
Yeah.
But it's like, if that right side had that fork, it'd be a really nice looking deer.
He is a really nice looking deer. Like, I think he's like, yeah, he's about 24 inches wide. Like, he's just outside his ears type thing, like just barely.
Sausage, too.
Yeah, he's that's a tube. He's a tube.
Yeah. Good buck.
It seems like before the rut really gets kicked off in full swing, there is always a specific time. It's a very brief window, maybe about 5 to 7 days, where the bucks seem to be grouped up in preparation for the rut. We've learned this through trail cameras a lot over the years, as you'll see them in groups of up to 6 or 7 animals strong at times. There might be a doe or two mixed in, but they're really not pushing or chasing hard yet. They're just in the pre-rut phase, being fairly social and active, which is very abnormal for them throughout the course of the rest of the year. Once they're out of velvet and the bachelor groups dissolve, it's not until this point that they really encounter each other regularly every day. Over the course 11 days of hunting, we sure did get to see some pretty awesome activity from a bunch of different bucks. Not all of them I got an opportunity to film, but I hope through what you have seen so far, you can appreciate it for what it is. I personally have never seen a hunting video in BC that shows activity of deer from where we live that is like this.
Pretty cool watching him rake that tree.
Yeah.
He's tearing it up. He's got his whole head in there.
Hunting, after all, is a marathon, and it's honestly not all about the harvest. It's about what you encounter out in the wild and what you can bring home and appreciate all the experiences you get to have in the backcountry of the beautiful province that we call home. What you're about to see is just another one of those experiences. This buck starts to rub his tarsal glands together. These are scent patches on the inside of their legs that they use for communication with other deer. In the rut, they often pee on these glands. The urine helps create a scent to one, to assert dominance, and two, to attract a mate. It only happens for a brief moment, but capturing it on film is pretty cool. This is something that a lot of hunters will rarely ever see unless you spend a lot of time looking at deer. Through all these encounters, though, eventually I would have the one that I was looking for on 2 separate occasions. The next buck that you're going to see in this sequence of filming really is one hell of a magnificent animal. This deer was an absolute giant. Little did we know it at the time, but it was literally the biggest buck I've ever had the privilege of filming in my entire life. We had spotted him earlier in the day and had made a big play to get as close as we possibly could to him. That being said, he's still quite a ways away. He's on the edge of comfortable rifle range, to say the least, and the weather was not cooperating. Fog kept rolling in and out, and to be honest, he didn't actually look as big through the binoculars as he does now on the screen. This thing is a toad. He's got 2 of the 3 things: crazy mass and really good frame for height and width. Doesn't have the biggest forks in the world, but that being said, this buck scored in the 190s. And the only reason that I know that is because a friend of a friend ended up harvesting this deer about 7 days after I filmed this. Once I had found out that this deer had been shot, that was kind of it. I had spent the majority of the 11 days hunting trying to get another look at this buck, although I would never see him again. The following encounter, though, after this one, was equally of a magnificent animal. He gave me the opportunity that I was chasing all season long. The only problem is that I couldn't put a 4th point on the deer. I had seen him first thing in the morning. He was at 120 yards, and I couldn't do anything but stare at him as my jaw hit the floor. The piece of video that I was able to record is very, very short, so I'll slow it down so you can have a look at him. But to describe this deer, think about a 190-inch typical that's missing its front forks, making it an absolute ginormous 3-point with big brow tines. The buck you're looking at was right around 30 inches wide and had extreme mass throughout his entire frame. This deer was in the exact same caliber, lacking the width, but he had extreme height, massive brow tines, and it was an insane experience. I watched him for over 5 minutes, and the entire time I almost couldn't stop shaking. He was literally right in front of me, giving me the shot I've dreamed of my entire life, and there was not a single thing that I can do about it. It was the low light, I think, that made it so I couldn't tell exactly what he had going on. All I know is that one of his brow tines was forked, but I couldn't tell if that fork was long enough to make him legal, so I had to pass on the buck. It was a crushing blow after putting in so much time this season, but nonetheless, here he is. It might be a little hard to tell from this video as my camera wouldn't focus in the low light, but I'm telling you right now, this deer was legendary. His back forks were insanely big, super tall, swooped up main beams, crazy mass with brows. Honestly, a dream buck, and I couldn't shoot him. With that in mind, we'll get into the very final day of this trip. It's now time to take a buck home for myself.
I'm just gonna set up this stuff here and see what we can find.
Yeah. I have a peekaboo.
Got a little Oh, I can't tell. It's dogging. It's dogging. Yeah, it's a little bucksy. Oh, dude, it's a basket, baby?
Little did I know today would be the final day of my season. My brother was along with me for the ride, and we had a great day so far. We've only been glassing for a little over an hour, and we're already seeing a handful of deer, and we end up spotting a few bucks. Today was no different than a lot of other days, as we were constantly fighting the fog. The weather this time of the year can really be against you at times, and on this particular day, we were really fogged in first thing in the morning. As it finally started to clear, we were starting to get a look to see who was walking around up on the mountainside on this day.
Shit on its head?
But it's small.
Yeah. That other buck is like a...
Oh, he's got a sticker. Do you see that?
He's limping too, eh?
Big time. Got a bad limp. That's why I thought it was Gimpy. Because Gimpy, that bigger 4-point, also
Okay,
has
we
a
gotta
limp.
keep picking this apart. There's bucks up there.
This is a new deer. I've never seen this deer before.
I see a good buck.
Sure it's not the same one?
I don't know. I just saw frame right here. That's its head.
Zoom in on it.
I'm trying to, but it keeps losing focus on me. Oh yeah, hog.
see.
Right there, its head is right between the shit.
Yeah?
It's a hog.
Okay.
Okay, don't touch
This
it.
one's
Don't.
Now, which deer is it?
As you can tell, the morning's off to a great start. We have literally just got behind the glass and we're already looking at a few different bucks up on the mountain. This was going to be a great day.
Okay, at least we haven't bedded.
Well, what is it, though?
It's something. Something decently heavy. We're looking at its side of its face and its right antler. It has a front fork. Yeah.
This is a totally different deer than I've seen before.
It's heavy, Kev.
Yeah?
It's a mature buck.
I haven't seen a front fork deer yet, so this is a new one.
Cool.
Yeah. Unless this is Gimpy.
Dude, it's got good mass, bro. Really nice mass.
Yeah, but it doesn't have... It looked wide.
Yeah, it looks like a good buck.
Yeah. Fucking bedded already.
In the shit. But
Although right off the bat on this day, it appeared we had a pretty good buck bedded. This was a constant annoyance, as it seemed to me in the last couple of days the deer were bedding quite early in the day. So our spotting opportunities would be very limited to mostly just the morning. We spent quite a bit of time staring at this deer, trying to figure out exactly what he was. He was bedded in such thick stuff that we really couldn't get that great of a look at him. But over the course of an hour, he did shift his head around enough, and from us changing positions down below, eventually we determined that he was a 4x5 with an inline on his left front fork. He had some pretty goofy back forks going on. It was a really good framed deer overall, decently heavy, pretty wide and tall, but beside for his one front left fork, he didn't really have much of forks to speak of. It was a pretty interesting looking deer. My brother wanted to go after him, but I figured there's still lots of time left in the morning, so we should probably mosey on and go see if we can locate a different buck in a different area. So that's exactly what we did. We picked apart massive country with the most amount of diligence that we possibly could have. And eventually, something would just happen. Justin looked up at the right time, and all of a sudden, there was a buck crossing right in front of his binoculars directly above us.
yeah, it's a 4-point. It's a pretty nice 4-point. It's pretty nice. Good forks. He just crossed my view. Here he is.
I didn't see it.
It's got nice forks. Good backs.
It's a doe.
country that we are in is giant, and we knew that there was very little chance we would catch up to an active buck ripping around on his feet. But that didn't stop us from hiking straight up there and try to get another look at him.
See him in that corner. Yeah. Unless he goes up onto the bench on the top. Then we're fucked. No snow either, so we can't follow him. I see him up there. It's got big backs. Tips of its ears. That's a pretty buck, man. Its tips of its ears, pretty heavy, looks mature. It's like a 150 buck. Big neck. See the neck on it, looks pretty big.
Now, in my experience, this is a pretty classic encounter with a mature buck. He's frozen in time, unsure of what to do. He's a couple hundred yards above us, so at the moment he believes he's safe. Problem is, I can't find a shooting lane to get on him from where Justin can see him from.
Come look at him in this. Come here. Oh, there he is. There he is. He turned his head. He's a 4. He's clean 4. I can't even see him.
I settle in to get into a shooting position from what I have, hoping that the buck will make the mistake. Justin tries to call out what he is here. I don't hear any of it. I'm behind the gun now, focused.
He's not a shooter. He's like a 140 buck. I can kill him right now. What do you think? Hold on, I don't want him. I lost him. He's behind a tree from me. He was behind a tree. Well, he's dead now. You got him? Yeah! Oh, good work, bro. Was he good enough for you? It looked nice. Yeah, that was a pretty buck. Yeah. Holy shit, I wasn't expecting you to shoot him, dude. Oh my god. At least I think I killed him. I put it right on this fucking... You stepped behind a tree. I lost him. I had to move the camera. I didn't know you were going to shoot. It was my last shooting opportunity. I couldn't hear what you said. You said something. I just heard something. I said he looks pretty nice. Okay, that's all. I just heard you say something. Oh, he was beautiful, Frame. I know, he was. He's beautiful. Yeah. Heavy. 4x4 with brows. I think I just killed him. Yeah. It was right on him when I pulled the trigger. Didn't see. He was quartering really hard, but I put it right on his front shoulder and squeezed. Oh, that was crazy. I wasn't expecting you to shoot. Dude, it was my last chance. Yeah. He was going to be out of... After that, he was gone. And I was looking at him as he's going away, and I'm like, okay, like, he's pretty nice. Like, he's not giant, but, like, I think he's big enough. He's a big fucking body, big ass. That's a mature buck. Dude, he was looking at me. His neck was swollen out. He looked all majestic. Like... It was nice. That was crazy. I made up my mind, dude, when... That's crazy, bro. I'm gonna shoot him. I made up my mind when he was about to step out of the shooting lane. I was like, fuck, that is about as nice as I can honestly hope for. Yeah, that was a pretty buck. He's fully mature. Yeah. He looked like it to me. Big body. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was crazy. The back fork on the one side is like crazy big. Oh, that was nuts. I think I killed him. I was right on him when I... That surprised me so much because I didn't know what you said, so I didn't know if you were shooting, and I said, I gotta move the camera, and then you shot, and... That's hunting, dude. Yeah, that was crazy. He was big enough. We got great... I had perfect footage of him staring at us, and like... Oh, that was crazy, Gev. I wish that you had He's him... in the vert! I wish that you had him in frame so that you could see where I hit him. I didn't hear it hit him. This tree right in front of me. Dude, this poplar, like 10 feet in front of you is what stopped me.
But the weird thing is, after I pulled the trigger, I didn't see him react, so I don't even know if I...
He could have just dropped.
Yeah, he could have.
If he just dropped out of frame, you wouldn't have seen him.
Yeah, the recoil and stuff. Yeah. I never saw him leave. I didn't see him go anywhere.
That was a big deer.
It was a nice buck.
Yeah.
He's big enough, dude.
He's got the perfect bowl frame. Yeah. Perfectly shaped. That was nuts. That was nuts.
Like, dude, I had the gun. I was rock solid, dude. I couldn't see him laying down. He's like 188. I ranged him. And I put the gun like on the tree like this and had this on my knee, so I was really stable. And then he was walking straight away, and I was like, I can kill him right now, dude.
I heard you say that. That's what I heard you say, but I couldn't tell what you said. I was so focused on thinking about moving the camera.
And then, like, he stopped, and he looked, like, back down, and I had front shoulder, so I just fucking bang.
Yeah, I bet you smoked him. I bet you smoked him. Your gun's dialed.
I was going to shoot him in the neck.
That was a fairly close shot.
Yeah, under 200.
Yeah. I bet you smoked him, dude.
That's crazy.
Let's just give it a minute.
That's crazy.
That was crazy, Kev. That was so insane. The stock was perfect. We got right in on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome, dude. What a morning. I've never been in here in my life.
That's a beautiful buck, man.
Beautiful.
I couldn't let him go. Like, I was looking at him, and I was like, I think that's a 4 or 5-year-old buck that isn't, like,
dude, his neck was swollen.
Yeah, huge.
Big white patch. He looked really old and gray in his face when I was filming him. Oh, that was incredible.
Like, I just saw, like, how beautiful he was, and I was like, that is the perfect example of a fucking mule deer. And I was like, if he stops, I'm gonna shoot him. And he was going straight away, and I have it on his neck, and then he turned, and he just looked back down, and I was like, yep, boom.
I think you made a good shot, Kev. We didn't hear him bouncing or running. I didn't see him running up the hill. I would have caught flashes of him sprinting or something.
Or he wouldn't even have moved, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, dude. The gun recoiled, and then I couldn't see him anymore. It was just over. I think I killed him.
I think you did.
Yeah.
He's not a giant. No, I wouldn't expect it to be a giant, dude, but I think that's a mature buck.
Oh, it's 100% a mature buck.
It's a mature buck. It was heavy.
I'm looking at it.
It had shit, like, from rubbing in its bases.
I was looking at it in the scope, and I was like, it's not as big as the ones I seen, but it's in the top.
You shot it, man. It's up to you.
I think I killed it.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Dude, it was too good. Like, he fucking stopped and looked back and gave me his whole front shoulder. Like, I was like, I have to shoot him. Like, he's giving me the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, that was a pretty buck. I'm telling you right now, that's a fucking way prettier deer than the 2x3 I shot. I'm telling you that for free. Yeah. That was a nice buck, dude. I was looking at him in the camera, and I would have shot that thing. That would.
I've never taken a shot at something that steep before.
Yeah.
It's fucking straight up and down.
Yeah, it is vert in here, dude.
Like, I'm literally aiming up the hill like that.
That's why he didn't go anywhere.
It's like a 35-degree shot, probably.
Yeah.
If not steeper. Like, that's vert. When you have your gun looking up the mountain like this, you know, it's pretty fucking steep.
Yeah. I think you were solid. I think as long as you were solid, dude.
I was dead.
I think you smashed him.
I wasn't excited. I wasn't shaking or anything because I thought it was all going sideways. And, like, he just stepped into the window, and it was like Ryan said this to me the other day. It's like a business transaction. Like, you just put the crosshairs where it needs to be, and bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem was, like, he was right on the cusp of not being able to see him anymore. So after I shot, like, I have no idea what happened. I don't like that I couldn't see what happened right after.
With any luck, dude, he's just dead.
Yeah, he might be.
With one shot.
I didn't see anything. I didn't see him fall over. I didn't see him move. I didn't do anything. It was just like the gun booted.
Deer to our left. It's a doe. Oh no, it's a spike buck.
Dude, that buck is 3 times the size of that spike.
Oh, dude, it's huge. Its neck was giant. That was the most majestic 4-point footage I've ever got, I think. Let's meander up there. So let's go find him.
Yeah, we have to. Oh, dude, there's a buck right there.
There's 2 bucks right there. No way.
Oh, no, it's a buck. Although there was a little bit of uncertainty for me, what had just happened had ended my season. That bullet had met its mark, and all of my doubts would soon be unwound. Having these deer right beside us, bedded in the gully only to stand up to us bickering, was a pretty cool tidbit. We were in their bedroom, just like we like to be.
Oh, I love mule deer hunting.
Me too. It's the best thing in the world. I love mule deer hunting. It's my favorite.
It's so much better than whitetail hunting.
I mean, when we shot that elk, dude, when like you get to hear the thing screaming, and that was pretty exciting. But like this is sick.
I love doing this.
I don't know how long we should give this deer.
I don't know.
I don't know like what happened. I know I hit him lungs. If I hit him,
I think he smoked him. I didn't hear like a miss or a weird sound from the bullet impacting something strange.
I didn't even hear anything. This gun's fucking loud with the short barrel, dude.
Yeah.
My ears are ringing.
I bet.
Were. They're not anymore.
Shooting, Kev.
So worried, dude.
Good shooting.
That's why I didn't see what happened to him, because I pulled the trigger and he just fucking
died.
He
just died. He died.
Oh.
Good shot, Kev.
I hate that feeling, man.
He's a...
I can't even see him.
Oh, he's stinky. Oh my gosh, his neck is giant.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, that's awesome. Now we got some serious work to do. You're gonna get a lot of meat off this buck.
It's giant.
He made one clean shot, didn't fuck up any of the meat. Perfect behind the shoulder, through the lungs,
we got
killed him.
all day to deal with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great deer.
Yeah, man. I'm super stoked for you.
Me and Justin's fluke spotted this deer. We just stopped and I was looking down the hill and Justin just threw his binos up and he said he was looking at nothing, and then a buck just like walked through a gap on the side of the hill and he was like, there's a big buck up there. And he's like, no, he's like, there's a buck up there. And then we looked and he got a little piece of video of him, and I saw a piece of him too. I saw this side kind of crossing and I was like, yep, we should probably go up there and go have a look. And then we hiked up here, like ended up being a fair ways now, like I don't know how much elevation we gained, but straight up and down. So we climbed a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah, this deer I got set up on, and you guys would see it in the footage, but the whole entire time I couldn't see the buck from where I needed to shoot from. Like where Justin was standing, if I got down, there was like grass and stuff, so I moved over to the left and I'm looking at where the deer is, but there's just like trees in my way. So Justin's giving me the play-by-play of what he is, and then he steps out eventually, and like as I just got settled into my shooting position, and the buck's going straight away from me, and they always look giant when they're going away from you, and I just saw the whole right side and the big back fork, and he's a 4-point, and it got me excited when I saw that. It's a nice buck.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with him.
It's a beautiful buck.
I was hoping to shoot a really big one this year, or at least a big mature buck. That's always my goal. Every year I just hunt for like a bigger, more mature animal, and I think this one is right up there with one of the bigger, older deer I think I've ever killed. Frickin' thing is huge. Made a money shot on him, just like he stopped and he gave me his front. He was going straight away from me, and then he did the classic mule deer thing where he turned and looked back with his front shoulder facing me, and I was like, yep, boom, dead.
Yeah, and he just slid right into this big old burnt tree.
Yeah, just super worried because he was standing, I guess, right there, and I'm looking through, like, he would have been right there, and I was looking through all this grass. All this grass would be blocking what happened, and it was like right out of the cusp of what we could see. So when I shot, like, I had no idea what happened, and then I was kind of freaking out because I hate it when that happens. I know that, like, when I pulled the trigger, it was where I wanted it, and that's all you can hope for. And yeah, it was like probably a little over 200 in the timber through a shooting window. That's a long shot in the trees, man.
Yeah.
It was like one perfect line of open right to where he was, and got him. Sick deer.
He's a sweet deer.
Now we're going to have to work to get him out of here because this guy's really big and he's really heavy. And yeah, what a toad.
Yeah, huge neck. A neck is unbelievable to me.
It's gigantic.
It's not even neck shaped. It's just a giant blob extension
of
his body.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the gun. Giant triangle. Yeah. We got one, bro.
We got one. Good work.
We'll have to do the pictures.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here for this one. It's way cooler when you're here. Yeah, I've been out. I don't know. I have to look back. I've been keeping a deer count this year of everything that's happened throughout the season. And I forget how many 4 points this is that I've seen now, but this is probably over 20, I'd say. I'd have to double check the count, but this would be the 6th or 7th mature buck that I've seen, and he's probably in like the top 5% of all the deer I've seen all year. So I'm happy with him. I passed.
Yeah, that was a wicked hunt.
I passed a bunch of bucks, all like somewhat similar to this one, or maybe quite a few that were smaller and younger. Lots of them that, even some bigger ones than this guy that were younger. But just looking for age, man. It's like sheep hunting. It's hard to find like big, elusive muleys. That's why you come out here all the time. It's like there's not very many of them, so you gotta look at a lot of deer to find another really nice, big, mature one.
On film,
dude, when he was going away and you just saw like the freaking gut. You know, like when their ass is that big and they're like, they walk and they kind of like have the, I don't even know.
It's a strut.
Like, it's a strut.
Yeah.
When they're big.
Big buck strut.
Yeah, they look different. I saw how big it was, and I was like, I think that deer is bigger than I think it is. Bang. Dead.
Sweet.
It's pretty cool.
Super cool.
You always wish that it's the ones that have the crazy forks, though. It's just they're not, like, fuck.
I know. That's how hunting is, dude.
I thought for sure that the other back fork was this. Well, I didn't know. I didn't even get to see it, but I was hoping that it matched.
Yeah.
Whatever. It still wouldn't score very good.
No, it doesn't matter. No.
Yeah. All that reloading and practicing and shit with the 260 this year.
Yeah.
That's the first deer that this gun shot. It's a sick little gun for the mountains.
Yeah.
Because realistically, you don't really ever have to shoot that far.
It put him away in one shot.
One shot.
Yeah.
Just owned him.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
The guns, like freaking guns, man. Like, this is what? Probably a $4,000 rifle, and you take it out in the hills and just kick the ever-living crap out of it because that's what they're for. It's just a tool. It's so funny. Like, I wanted a gun like this for so long, and then you get one, and look at it now. It's covered in bullshit, all scratched up, looks like crap. It's literally like caked in dirt. Tikas, though, dude.
Yeah.
They'll always run.
If you were curious as to what the end tally was for mule deer, this was the 58th buck of the season, and of those 58 bucks, 22 of them were 4 points. In total, including the 3 deer we had seen on the hill after I had shot this one, we were at a tally total of 301 mule deer sightings. Quite the season.
Is the camera going?
Yep. You got your one peg?
It's heavy, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a buck on the back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Buck. So loose, dude. Walking out of this is gonna suck.
mostly because a couple days before, another hunter had stolen my trekking poles out of the box of my truck.
Well, that concludes the 2024 mule deer season for me and Justin. We're both tapped.
Yeah, it's all over, except for the last final pack out.
Now we just got to go down a really steep hill and not hurt each other or ourselves. And this has all been a great big success. Sick. Should be able to get up with half a buck, eh?
Oh yeah. We'll get airborne. The hill's steep enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at him. Yeah.
Grab the camera. Oh man.
But guess what, dude? It's all downhill from here.
It is.
Literally this time.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this hunt. It truly was a joy filming and bringing it to you in this manner. And hopefully through my speaking and visuals presented to you, you can appreciate this one true passion of mine in life. I truly do absolutely love mule deer hunting.
Feels weird only having one pole.
Yeah. It's because it's only 25% better than nothing.
What kind of hunter steals another hunter's trekking poles? That's got to be like the lowest move in the history of all moves.
Yeah.